Right, everyone, I have got an important topic that we need to discuss. If you are coming to the Canary Islands, Tenerife, Lanzarote, Gran Canaria, even mainland Spain, if you're going to any of those this year in 2025, I've got an important reminder for you all and something that you should all be applying for as well if you haven't already. So jumping straight into it, a big welcome to the channel. I am Andrew, I do live here in Tenerife. I live in Los Cristianos and I run a car rental company, but I'm in touch with tourists and locals and people visiting every single day. I also have a bar here in Los Cristianos as well. So I'm chatting with people every single day, people coming in and out, dealing with cars, bits of excursions, the bar, etc. I'm always dealing with people and speaking to people. And I pick up on a few important things that people mention to me. This week, I did pick up on a bit of a topic, and it was a lovely lady came into the bar on her own, and she's been in before, but normally comes in with her husband. Long story short, the husband did trip over on one of the promenade planters, something I always point out on the live streams, if you know, back of Fania Bay, that area. They have the planters where there used to be like a palm tree in them. It's a big square cut out in the floor, and he unfortunately didn't realise, missed it, went flying and has broken his hip. He is now in the hospital in Las Americas being looked after, but very important and very thankfully, they had their holiday insurance, their travel insurance, because his bill is already around €30,000. So this is an important reminder about your holiday insurance, your travel insurance, and also getting a special card from the UK that allows you to come over and use some healthcare systems in an emergency for free. So the first thing that is most important is getting that travel insurance, the holiday insurance, and your different covers. There's a few important things to mention with that. Now, a lot of people will book their travel insurance, their holiday insurance, a day or so before they travel, maybe a week before they travel. You've got a trip coming up in, say, 15th of June. People jump on and they book on the 14th of June, for example. That is exactly what you shouldn't be doing. As soon as you've booked your holiday, you want to get on and book your travel insurance, because if something happens in between you booking and you coming away and you traveling on holiday, you will not be covered. So for example, if you pick up an illness or you break your leg or something happens in between booking your holiday and getting out here to Tenerife, for example, or Gran Canaria, if you are insured with your holiday cover, you can then make a claim and show that you can't go, you've got issues or something's happened, and they will reimburse you for your holiday. If you don't have that travel insurance, they will simply say, sorry, you weren't covered, you've only just, you've got no cover, so the holiday is therefore paid for, you've just had to cancel it, and you will lose the money. Martin Lewis put it in a great example. For example, you book a holiday, you're good to go, you're ready to go in a few months' time, and then you fall and break your leg or break your arm and you can't travel, you can't come over, you can't get over to Tenerife. His example was, it's similar to if you go and buy a brand new tennis racket, you don't use it for a month or so, you break your arm and then you go back to JD Sports and say, oh, well, can I have a refund for this tennis racket? I can't use it. And they'll say, well, there's nothing wrong with the tennis racket. You're the problem because you've got your broken arm, so we can't refund you the tennis racket. That example is how it would be with your holiday. You've fallen and broken your leg, you didn't have insurance, the holiday's still perfectly fine, your hotel is still open, your flights are still on, Tenerife's still all open, so sorry, we cannot give you a refund. So very important that you book your holiday travel insurance as soon as you book your holiday. Now, there are a few different sites you can go on to get your coverage. It can either be an annual coverage, so if you're doing a few trips in a year, you can get a worldwide one, you can get one that's just Europe, you can book a one-off trip insurance as well. If it's just a one-off special holiday that year, you can book that. There are specialist sites as well for over 65s. Obviously, the older you go, the little bit more expensive it gets, so you can save a little bit of money. I'm going to leave that link in the description. The best site to go on is just go on Martin Lewis. He's got all the sites listed there, all the best ones, and it does, very important, it does say on the site, declare any pre-existing illnesses you've got or any existing issues you've got, because they've got some very good lawyers, all these insurance companies. They're not soft. They know if you've maybe had a pre-existing condition, you haven't declared it, and they'll do anything to wiggle out of paying you out. So very important, you are upfront, you're honest. I've had this issue or that issue. Be honest with it, pay them the price. It might be a little bit more, but you will actually be covered because they're not idiots. They will do anything to wriggle out of paying out. That's any of the companies as well. So I will leave the link for Martin Lewis there. Make sure you do it. For example, this lady here, you fall and break your hip, €30,000. How are you going to pay that if you haven't got insurance? It's very, very important. But also very important you book it as soon as you've booked your holiday. Because if something happens in between, you're going to lose all that holiday money. You might have booked a £7,000 holiday. You're going to lose all that. For example, if you get diagnosed with something or you can't travel, they're not going to cover you. So make sure you're on it with your insurance. Now, I'm going to jump in to the next little thing that I want to mention, which is what used to be the National Insurance Health Card. It is now the UK GHIC or EHIC card. It's a global health insurance card. I am reading it here because it is a little bit technical. That lets you get necessary state healthcare in European areas. So even though we're out of the EU in terms of Brexit, this card will still work over here in Spain, Canary Islands and Tenerife. This is free to apply for on the NHS website, and it will cover you in certain emergencies if you do need emergency help. This may be free or it may require a payment equivalent to which the local residents would pay as well. So it's either going to be free or heavily discounted. The UK GHIC has replaced the existing European health insurance card, the EHIC. That has now gone. So if you do have an existing EHIC card, you can continue to use it until it's expired. So if you did have one of those health cards pre-Brexit and it's still in date, it would still be valid. And you can apply for a new one up to 9 months before the current card expires. It lasts for 5 years, and you simply apply on the NHS website. Again, I'll link this down in the description. Make sure you've got one with you if something happens. It's very, very important you've got this, as well as your travel insurance. So make sure you're all fully covered up, especially if you're doing activities and things. You're coming in the summer, you're doing jet skis and boat trips and things. Very, very important. All you need to do for applying is your full name, your address, date of birth, national insurance number, and health and care number if you have one in Northern Ireland. And after you apply, it will take about 24 hours to let you know whether it's been approved or not. And then you will have it and you'll be covered in the events. What your card does cover, I'm just going to read this out. So here is exactly what it covers. You can use your card to get state health care that cannot reasonably wait until you come back to the UK. So medically necessary health care. This includes things such as emergency treatments and visits to A&E. So say you fall, break your leg, etc., fall off a jet ski, whatever it might be. Treatment or routine medical care for long-term or pre-existing medical conditions. Routine maternity care as long as you're not going abroad to give birth. So say you're pregnant and you have a little issue, you want to get checked out or something, that card would cover it as well. So very, very important you apply for both of those. Very, very important. Because like I said, this lady, she's in on her own. She's a lovely lady. And her husband is stuck in Las Americas Hospital, and the bill is just racking up every single day. And it would be scary. I'm thinking about, I think a lot of people do come over, they risk it. They don't have insurance. They don't even have the basic free NHS card. It's free to get. It's a no-brainer. I don't even think a lot of people have this, and they just come over and they risk it all, and they will get the money off you. It's not like probably the NHS at home might be a little bit easier. Here, it's like if you've not got any of these things, they either won't see you or the bill will follow you home, or they will get the money from you. So just be very aware of that and make sure you are covered. We had a previous example a couple of years ago. If anyone remembers that, they had a car from me. They returned it at the airport, and the gentleman had basically a heart attack in the car park, and he ended up staying for many months, and thankfully their insurance paid for their accommodation for all that time, or the wife's accommodation for all that time, all of his treatment, and also the repatriation flight, which was very expensive. It was a special medical flight that he had to fly on to get back home. I think the flight alone was like £10,000 or something crazy. So all of that was covered because they were insured. But I worry that some people are not insured, and I certainly do think that a lot of people, like me, is what I used to do. You book your holiday insurance just before you go away because, you know, you're going to save a bit of money not the way to do it. As soon as you've booked, get that holiday insurance booked. So I hope that does help you out. I will leave those important links in the description. The link to apply on the NHS website for your card, which is free. The Martin Lewis Money website as well, which will have various different links depending what you want to look for. If you're looking for worldwide cover, over 65 cover, that will be in the description as well. Get on it, look after yourselves, and you'll have a fantastic time. It's just to cover you in case those little things do happen, because trust me, speaking to people in and out all day long, these little things do happen, popping off to the hospital, and even like basically, I spoke to a family a couple of weeks ago and the child had a really bad asthma attack. They popped into the hospital. So it is important. Make sure you're covered. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the information, do please give a thumbs up. Share it with anyone who might be going abroad. This doesn't just apply to Tenerife. This applies to all of the Canaries, Spain, Europe, anyone going away this summer. So if you've got someone going on holiday, share the video with them. Make sure they've got those two things: the holiday cover straight away as soon as they book, and that card from the NHS, which gets you that free or discounted treatment. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the subscribe, and of course, stride on.